Okay, this is our tracing pin, and it's adjustable. And these little holes here should fit perfectly with these cotton pliers. And what I'm doing is just winding that out. And sometimes you can probably wind it out with your finger once you get started. So I'm just going to crank it on out, I hope. I can't tell if I am or not. I better go back to the cotton pliers. But you can see that that pin is coming out. Okay, so you can see the screw threads. I've screwed it out some. Now I'm going to fit it back together out of the mouth just to look at it. And you may be able to see that that pin is touching that plate a little bit. I'm going to wind it out a little bit more just to be sure that I have the teeth apart. And I can easily turn it when I get it cranked out like that. I don't want it out like that, so I'm going to put it back in and give it a couple of turns, because I don't want the patient to swallow that thing or inhale it. So it's in there enough to where it's stable. So now we're ready to take this to the patient's mouth. Again, we're going to put a tracing plate on that pin, or on that short bridge, I think they call it. We'll put that in the patient's mouth. We'll seat the upper denture. And then when they close, ideally, there'll be a little space between the teeth. See how everything's sliding around on that little pin? The teeth are not quite touching. And that's good, because what we're going to do is we're going to let them slide around on that, but there'll be something touching somewhere probably. And when we find that, we're going to adjust it. This is normally the doctor's job, but he'll know where to take a little bit off of the lower teeth or the upper teeth. And he'll adjust that place, and he may find a place on the other side and adjust that a little bit. And then the doctor will close this pin a little bit and do the same thing again. The patient will bite on that and slide around, and then we'll find some other places that mark, and we'll adjust them. And we'll keep turning that a little bit and keep adjusting and adjusting. And after we do that, there's a really good chance that the occlusion will be balanced. When this patient bites, they'll feel places where the teeth hit on both sides instead of just tripping over one tooth. And so they'll be able to have a home base. Their teeth will fit together, and then when they slide around, they'll be gliding on several of these prosthetic teeth instead of just riding on one tooth. Because without this procedure, it's very difficult to get the bite right. The patient's muscles, they're all different, their joints are all different. But this device, developed by Dr. Coble from Raleigh, North Carolina, I believe, no telling when, in the 30s probably, will allow the dentist to adjust and balance that bite. So the patient, and I'm going to go ahead and crank this down some more. You just have to keep doing this a little at a time till the marks start to be even, and then when the patient closes and you get it all down to where the pin's not hitting, what we want to see is a nice tight bite, and when the patient slides around, it'll feel good instead of just one tooth hitting. And that's called a Coble balancer for balancing occlusion. And the hardest part is mounting the thing on there. And so we've gone through that one time. I don't think there's any really good way to learn it except by doing it. This yellow paper has all the directions, and I encourage everybody to take this same case and mount it yourself one time so that you see how it works. And I'm going to leave this one mounted till the next assistant can look at it, and then I would like for them to take it all off and mount it themselves. Thank you.